Hello everyone, welcome to DotNetMirror channel. In this video, we are going to explore how to simplify user logins by integrating Google Authentication directly into your Azure App Service. This allows your users to sign in securely using their existing Google accounts with minimal effort on your part. In this video, we will understand what is an authentication and authorization. Then we will walk through creating and deploying a demo ASP.NET application to Azure. And most importantly, we will cover how to register your app with Google and apply the settings in Azure Portal. And finally, we will run the Azure application with the Google as an authentication mechanism. Make sure you have Visual Studio IDE, Azure account, development knowledge of ASP.NET C Sharp, Azure, and make sure you have a Google account. Let's understand what is an authentication and authorization. It is crucial to understand that authentication and authorizations are distinct processes. Authentication is the first step, it verifies who the user is. When it comes to authorization, it determines exactly what the verified user is permitted to do within your application. Why to choose Google as your identity provider? Azure App Service makes this integration incredibly smooth, often requiring little no code changes to your application. Whether you are building a standard web app or a RESTful API or a mobile backend or even Azure Functions, Google IDP is a versatile choice for securing your services. Let's understand when to use Google as an IDP. Let's assume that you have an application called, let's say, medium.com. When you go to sign in, it says there are different options where you can go and select your Google account. In this similar way, assume that like medium.com, this is your Azure web app. For that application, you can implement Google authentication similar to this. So I already created an Azure app service with free service tier plan. So let's go there. And if you browse this application, so it's up and running. Let's go and deploy our local application. So I have my local application available, and if you see the application, it is a basic application, contains home page and privacy page. Now let's go and deploy this application. We create a new profile. Let's select Windows. As it's already connected to my account, it will show all our available applications. So within this, I have a application called DNM Google Auth app. So let's go to the next. Let's finish this. Now the app is ready to publish. Let's click on publish. Now the app is published. Let's refresh. Yeah, if you see now the app is deployed to Azure. Now let's enable the Google authentication. For that, go to authentication, click on identity provider. Previously, I have created videos for Microsoft and Twitter. I will provide the link in the description. In similar way, let's use the Google as an option now. Let's go to the Google. Now it requires client ID and secret. We need to get from the Google platform. So already I created a end-to-end article. So you can refer this article. So now we need to go to console.developer.google.com. You can follow the steps whatever I mentioned here. Let's do those. Click on a project. I'll say new project. Give your own name. So I'll not select any organization. Yeah, once this is created, go to consent screen. Click on get started. I'll just use my credentials. In the audience, make sure you're selecting external, which means that you're allowing external Google account users to log into your platform. If you want internal, you have to create an organizations and add the users, but I will choose external. Let's click on next. I'll just give contact information as my Gmail. Let's click on finish. Now the app is created. Now you have to go and create Auth client. We will select web application. We will just call it as demo app client. Here make sure that you're selecting your application name. So let's go and just give this one. And when it comes to authorized, you give the same URL, but make sure at the end we have this callback. So let's add this URI, which means that when the authentication is done, it will do a callback to our application. So let me delete this. So once you click on create, you will have your client ID and secret. So let's take the client ID. So let's go back to our application. So let's take this client ID. Let's put this as a client ID, and let me copy the secret. Make sure this is confidential, don't share with anyone. So let's put the secret. Now we'll say require authentication, and will not change any other settings. Let's click on add. Now it successfully added Google as an identity provider. Now let's go and browse our application now. Now this time it is not directly log into the application. So let's take the URL again. I'll take the URL. I will show you in incognito mode. In the incognito mode, when you try to open your application, now it says there is a another dot. Let me remove that. Let's refresh. Let's open here. Yeah, now let's go with the incognito mode. Now if you see here, our particular application is trying to access with Google account. Now it will ask for our credentials. You have to provide username and password. I already have here, so let's go there. So I already logged in with my account via Chrome profile. So let's click this. Once you provide your login details, Gmail account details, this is the consent page where it is saying that Google now will allow your name plus email to this particular application. If you give this consent, automatically you can access the application. If you see here, this application in the behind scenes, it is authenticated with your Gmail accounts. Now if you want to do a logout, please make sure that you implement slash auth slash logout. In this way it will be logged out and you can return to your website. Now when you return, now again it is asking for a sign-in mechanism with the Gmail. In this way you can enable your application to integrate with Google as an identity provider for the Azure App Service. With this we are done with the demo. We have enabled Google as an IDP for Azure application. We have created an basic application, Azure App Service. Then we have enabled Google as an IDP. Then we have configured our application within the Google console. We have taken client ID, secret, and configured in authentication configurations. Then your application is available only with the Google as an IDP. In this way, you can easily enable Google IDP to your application. Let's go back to the PPT. Yeah, we have seen the end-to-end demo now. Now, this is the reference article. I will provide the link in the description. This is the logout option. We looked at it. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you find this helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends. Please subscribe to .NET Mirror and click on the bell icon so you always get my updates on .NET and Azure. And if you have any questions or looking for any videos, please drop in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.